What is going on? And welcome back to another episode of Creative Digest, where we sit down and we talk with other creators and creatives and talk about their processes and their experiences. Today, we take it back to our roots, where Aidan and I sit down, we chop it up, and we have a good time. Talking all things the excitement of movies coming out this year, as well as the movies we've enjoyed thus far. Oscar season's just around the corner, so yes, we made sure to make a mention of that. Today's a lighthearted episode. It's an easy listen, so make sure that you tell us if you make it to the deep end and enjoy.
What's going on? Welcome back to the Creative Digest, where we sit down and talk with other creators.
And creatives and talk about their processes and their experiences. There's no way that wasn't the most entertaining intro we've done thus far.
Yeah, Ashtin and I have been sitting here going through the Roadcaster.
We have.
The voice auto presets.
Right, and we use, we use the Roadcaster Pro 2, and it just has all of these like voice changer audio presets, and this one has
to be the funniest that you can use, right?
I like it a lot.
I think it's hilarious. I mean, we literally
to
say,
laugh when I want to hear it, but it just sounds like a disgruntled fourth grader.
literally.
Exactly.
Well, I feel like if you I don't know, I think it's funny.
Word.
Oh my!
There's no way that gets tiring at all. Never will that not be funny.
That's hilarious. I think that is so funny. And the Roadcaster even comes with some fun little sounds. You can we can intro and be like, ah.
That's how we actually change segments.
And
in the
that's
show
how,
now.
and that's
that
how
is
we're
the
going to start
exact
changing.
effect we're using.
I think I love it. And then there's, if you say something stupid or something silly, I could hit him with a, that's hilarious.
Yeah, you need a joke. We need to say something.
Yeah, we do need to say something funny, but I don't have anything. But if we say something
Not a naturally funny person.
that isn't funny, but we try to be funny, we could hit him with a. I mean, this is basically just a fully produced podcast at this point. I mean, this is
production wise. That's as far as we need to go.
This is incredible. There's applause. So whenever we say something applause worthy,
I think we should. That goes on forever.
That does keep going.
I still feel like we should record in front of a live studio audience, but that's still just my hot take.
I strongly agree with that statement. Bear with us here, listeners, because there's also crickets. And that's just comedy. That is just great comedic timing.
This is how we amp up the show.
And that one was an accident. But apparently that's supposed to be a record scratch, but that did not sound like a record scratch.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Digital produce. Kind of sounds like a deflating balloon.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like, when you squeeze the balloon by the top and you just let out a little bit of air. That's exactly what it sounded like.
I'm just happy that we're actually we went through multiple tests because last time we used this setup, it didn't really work out that well for us.
Yeah. Last time you and I sat down, it went terribly wrong.
Yeah. We sound checked everything, went through everything, sweet, everything's good, went through a whole show, and then it was my audio that was just non-existent.
Just not there. Yeah, your mic was muted on here, but we were able to hear you the entire time through our ears.
And we were getting levels and everything.
Yeah.
It just at the very bottom just had a little
thing that said
line through it.
And I'm disappointed. That I'm really happy with the Roadcaster as a whole and how simple it is to use. But it's also really easy just to not get levels.
Yeah, it's also not dummy proof.
Right. And
which we learned.
If you go into the deeper settings, you have to make sure, which this should be pretty straightforward, but the Scarlett automatically, most of the time, it's right on the front it says 48 volts and tells you what you're using for phantom power and all that kind of stuff. But this, you have to go into the mic settings and into the mic pre's and turn on phantom power. And I don't know. I just think it's
That's what happens when you add a display.
Yeah, I know. You have to go into stuff.
Yeah, you have to.
It's annoying, but
we love the technology we're provided with.
We do, and it does streamline things. It does streamline the process a little bit. So, what do you? They haven't heard from just us two in a while.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to lately?
Gosh, when was the? Man, it's been a minute. Yeah, so recently more just projects, getting through midterms, things like that, surviving till spring break, what I was talking to you about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much we got a week and a half and then we're done.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we get a little break.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah. You got any fun plans?
For spring break? Oh, no. So sorry. No, I don't, actually. I think I work during spring break, like one of the days for like Blue Jackets. So it's not like super, super crazy. So I could still plan something like around it. But no, I don't have any crazy plans. I've like talked to my mom a couple times and she's just been like, yeah, for sure. And then I hear nothing from her.
Yeah.
Where are you going? You're going somewhere.
I'm going to Mexico.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where in Mexico?
Cancun.
Aren't you basic?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No, it'll be fun.
I've never been to Mexico, much less Cancun.
I went somewhere in Mexico like very long time ago, probably like a decade ago. But
oh wow, I need to get my passport renewed. That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a passport if you're driving through. You just need your state ID if you drive to Mexico or if you drive to Canada.
I don't know if that's true or not.
But to fly, you do need a passport.
I got a passport, so
yeah, you're good.
I mean,
you're good either way.
Yeah, I got that fail safe. But
yeah.
Things that I've been working on for projects.
even school projects. What have you been up to?
Gotta love the good old assignments. Just finished a 7-week class that was a pain in my butt.
Oh wow, what class?
It's business communication. So
Lick.
very, very straightforward and easy class, but taking it in 7 weeks, having to do double the amount of work in a week, not fun.
No, that is not
when
fun.
You
but
throw
now
work and everything else.
But now your workload is 3 credit hours lighter. No, for more than that, 5 credit hours because it's an accelerated course. So now it's 5 credit hours lighter.
Very happy about that.
That's a dub. A dub.
Project-wise, doing things for news reporting and directing.
Okay.
So doing right now, actually finishing up today. I just have to finish the final post-production on a news package that I did for the university's housing shortage that we've experienced over the past few years. So.
Okay. Yeah, which I don't think they plan on resolving anytime soon, it feels like.
Well, it's one of those things where this is one thing I had to do way too much research on, that more than I wanted to do.
Right.
Since they have things like, Calhoun, for those who know Cincinnati, just opened up for all the freshmen
that were in Sadal and the Graduate.
And now the Sadal is getting renovated again. So they were like, great, we fixed the problem. Everything's fine. We're renovating another dorm.
So now we have the exact same problem. It's just kind of seems counterintuitive, but I mean, hopefully they have a plan. But we're on track currently to break the record again of the most submitted students.
Every year it's been a new record. I think they're going to be well over 48,
48,000 something was last year.
Yeah, they're going to break it by a few hundred.
They're totally going to break it again. Well, because we're already at over 11,000 admitted students.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's not even March, and we're at over 11,000 admitted students, and I think it's growing by the hundreds every single day. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, I have a lot of buddies. A school that has a similar issue is Purdue, University in Indiana, West Lafayette. I have a lot of buddies from high school who go there, and I would see videos of like 8 people in like a room together, and I'm like, that's insane.
That's wild.
Like it looks like a barracks for like the military, where they just have like the bed and the dresser, and then it's just people stretched out their room.
That's just not it for me, champ. Could not be me, but because that affects everything. The more people that need houses, the more expensive the houses in the surrounding area are going to be.
True.
Which sucks. Supply high,
my
demand
rent
low, price high. Yeah, your rent increased. My rent was higher than it should have been. And it's probably going to go up more if there's 11,000 more students trying to sneak in there and steal my apartment.
But hey, at least I got a news story out of it for a class.
You did get a news story out of it. And I think that's going to be really cool. Do you plan on like broadcasting it, or is it just writing?
No, it's it's a full like package.
Okay.
So, it has interviews.
Oh wow.
That's actually what I had to reshoot, is some B-roll for it to just splice it up together and make it a little bit better.
Sure.
But yeah.
That's dope.
Full package, but it's just going to be a one of those school projects, add to portfolio type deals.
Right. And I've been enjoying that, more particularly this semester. I mean, last semester was good, but this semester I feel like there's been a little bit more emphasis on the projects that we're doing being a little bit more tailored to portfolio. And you've been in the specifically media production a little bit longer than I have. And so you've probably been experiencing this longer. But for me, it's like just now starting to pick up in the sense of like relevancy to my portfolio. Yeah. So it's been good though.
It's one of those things where like I feel like as a student, as us being, almost now
almost 30 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was thinking about that the other day. As actually I schedule classes very soon. But it's one of those things where I feel like stuff that I've been using earlier in my career, like early sophomore year of like things I've made and, developed and put into my portfolio. It's like one of those things that's like I'm slowly transitioning things out with, better products, better things that I've done in the past, better edits, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your portfolio just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I can't complain. I really can't. Do you know if your camera stops after 30 minutes? I don't think it does.
I don't think it does, but I've also don't think I've shot 30 minutes straight in a minute.
Okay.
On it, so we'll see.
Well, I'll keep an eye on that timer so I can start and check that timer.
Yeah. It should give us an audio cue if it does, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know cameras did that these days. Well, there's a lot coming up in the creative space, in which I'm rather excited about. I especially on like on like really really broad scale. I think there's some really cool pieces that are about to start coming out. Some big movies. That's our big deal. Obviously, there's like photographers who are making some mad waves right now. But do you have a movie that's coming out this year that you're particularly excited about?
Well, actually, I just saw a movie that I was very excited to see.
If you tell me it's Cocaine Bear, I'm gonna fight you.
So recently, I had the great honor of seeing Cocaine Bear in theaters.
That just felt right.
Yeah. But
Cocaine Bear in theaters. Okay, yeah. How was that experience?
Loved seeing all the advertisements online. Got very excited to go see the movie, and I was telling some friends, I was like, this is definitely gonna be a movie of the year. Who doesn't love seeing a movie about a bear that does a lot of cocaine? Fun fact, actually, that I did not know about this going into the movie. They had at the very beginning, slated on there. Actually, very loosely, of course, but actually loosely based off of a true story.
Huh.
Which I did not know. So,
How interesting.
My Aidan Britton's overall review on the movie was, I had no expectations going into it. And when I came out, I was just like, yeah.
Really?
It was all right.
Wow.
It was fun to watch. There were some good jokes throughout it. But it was one of those things where it's like characters you don't really get attached to. And then it's just,
That's a bummer.
It's one of those movies you watch, you go, all right, got some good laughs in it. I'll probably never watch that ever again in my life.
Right.
But
every time I keep seeing stuff about it, I'm like, yeah, I'll wait till that comes out on like Netflix or something and like watch it at extremely late at night or something when you're like just trying to turn something on or whatever. But I don't know how you just like watch that movie in the background. That's not really a background movie.
No, I feel like if you did, like if I was trying to like edit something or work on a script or something and I'm just going to play that in the background, I'm going to look over like every few minutes and not have a single clue what's going on.
Right, yeah. It would just be so all over the place and like so not well put together.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any new movies in 2023. I don't know if I've seen anything new yet. Like, I don't know if I've watched any of the new stuff that's come out.
Yeah,
I probably have,
it.
and I'm just blanking. But I don't think I have. The one movie I've been really excited about that should be coming out or might already be out, and I'm really just not 100% sure on, is When You're Finished Saving the World. It is Jesse Eisenberg's directorial debut. Very, very excited about.
Yeah. No, I've heard about that. I don't remember when that comes out off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think it has Finn Wolf something, Hardwolf or whatever. What's his name?
I think it's Wolfhard.
Wolfhard.
It's the Stranger Kids.
Yeah, Stranger
actor.
Things main kid. What's his name? Mike?
Yes.
When you are finished saving the world. 2023 drama. January 20th, when you finish saving the world. Tell me when it comes out, though. Or is it already out?
Well, it should say it right up there.
Right? You'd think on the IMDb. I'm on the IMDb. Do you know I have an IMDb?
I actually did know that.
I do. Wait, you did know that?
Yes, I did.
No.
We've talked about this. Because I think I made a joke about me getting one, and then you're like, well, I already have one. I'm like, oh, okay, I see how it is.
Yeah, it got pretty bad ratings. Yikes. 5.6 out of 10 stars.
Really?
I mean, I'm still going to watch it. Like, I don't think it's, you know, I always like to form my own opinions, but, release date. Yeah, January 20th. Okay, it's already out.
That's about out.
We'll take a peek at that later. Emma Stone, producer on it.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Emma Stone, Dave McCary, some other people that I don't know. Written and directed by Jesse Eisenberg. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, I was just going through a list on my phone of things currently coming out, and it's one of those things where it's like, whenever I go into movies, like I'll see like different reviews beforehand,
Right.
so like kind of get a sense of like, you know,
Yeah, like
besides just other things to get me like prepared for it. Prepared's a weird word. I don't know what.
yeah, no, I don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
have different expectations besides just the trailer.
Right.
One movie, I haven't seen it yet, and I probably won't. But I've heard a lot of like mixed reviews on is the newest Ant-Man.
Yeah, I have heard mixed reviews on that. I heard the story wasn't strong, but like it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But then like one of the reviews I heard was and I haven't seen it, so I don't have a take on it, but like that there was just never any stakes. You never felt like our lead actor and actress was like ever in really any danger.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Well,
I feel like it's one of those things where, I mean, I haven't watched a Marvel movie in theaters probably since Endgame.
really? You didn't see Spider-Man in theaters?
No, okay. No, I didn't. I was like, did I? Yes.
Spider-Man.
That was the last one I saw. Then it would have been Endgame.
Did you see Doctor Strange in theaters?
No.
Oh, wow.
So, it was one of those things where it's like, I have not watched Marvel movies like consistently since high school. And like, out of the shows, the only one that I've really like watched and liked was like Loki.
Oh, Loki was great.
Oh, Loki was, I really like that. But it's one of those things where I feel like it'll be interesting to see how like Marvel, like, you know, as big of a company as they are, continues into, you know, these next few years.
Yeah, I don't know what they need. Like, I want to say go back to, you know, their old formula, but it's like the story they had was Endgame is one of the best movies they ever produced. And with that being said, that goes to tell you that the ending of the era was needed because it was a good movie. And so I just feel like they need to, I don't know, revisit how they're approaching this new era. I don't know. There's just a lot of mixed reviews and a lot of people saying they're big fans of it, but I'm just not. It doesn't excite me.
No, I agree.
Nothing about it excites me.
It's one of those things where I feel like a lot of the stuff you see, like we've seen before, like similar story tropes between different movies, things like that, where it's just, it's not anything new or enriching.
Right.
It's just,
it's
a Marvel movie.
It's just a Marvel movie, and it's like, okay, cool, guys. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But luckily, Endgame or Ant-Man is not my most anticipated movie of the year.
Same.
Most anticipated movie of the year, without a doubt, has to be Oppenheimer.
I was gonna say, do you want to say this on 3 because I know we're thinking the same thing.
Oh, we should have. Dadgummit. Yeah.
No, very, very anticipating for that. But
yeah, Christopher Nolan. I mean, it's probably one of the most
it's a
stacked,
loaded cast and crew.
Yeah, gotta type it in. I mean, first off, Christopher Nolan is probably, you know, my top director right now. Oppenheimer. How do you spell that? Oppenheimer.
I could take a guess. I know
there's two
I got it
P's.
wrong. Yeah, I was gonna say it's OPPH.
The biggest one and I'm most excited about is probably because I've been watching Peaky Blinders here recently.
Really?
And so Cillian Murphy, who's the lead in Peaky Blinders, is also plays J. Robert Oppenheimer. But Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Rami Malek, Florence Pugh. Yeah. And then I've seen these names, I just don't know them. Gary Oldman, I do know him. Kenneth Bragg, I do know him. Wow. Oh my. Wow. I mean, this is just a stacked cast. Oh, Josh Peck is in here. Go him. He deserves that.
You just had to click all the way to the bottom to find Josh Peck.
Yeah, you did. He's all the way at the bottom. But I mean, it looks visually stunning. It looks like it stays true to the Christopher Nolan, making it feel larger than life, but somehow like feeling tangible.
Yeah, all it took was dropping a few bombs, but
Right. He did, which is crazy. The fact that they actually dropped bombs. I mean, I know like they were probably just like small little tiny ones for the sake of, but it's great marketing. It's great marketing.
Oh,
to say
100%.
that they did the explosions practically.
yeah.
Like that's just good marketing. Go
You
them.
watch a practical atom bomb go off. It's
Right.
every film.
Every
viewers-
filmmaker's dream.
Yeah, seriously. That's what I want to be doing in 20 years is dropping nukes for movies.
Right. Be careful
Yeah.
there. No, no. Yeah, I'm excited about Oppenheimer. In the same weekend, though, we're getting a pretty big release from A24. I think it's A24, but it is. Why am I blanking? Barbie, the Barbie movie with Margot
Is that
Robbie.
A24?
I think so.
I was gonna say I'm like trying to think of other movies coming out of that time frame. That is not what I thought you were.
Yeah,
gonna say, though.
it's her, Margot Robbie, and who's the other guy?
I have no idea.
I do know him.
I have not paid any.
Not Jake Gyllenhaal.
forelight to
The
the
other
movie.
really famous white actor. He was in La La Land.
I was just gonna say.
Why am I
why am
blanking?
I spaced on this the other night when I was talking to
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. That's it.
Boom.
Literally the other night, I was talking about La La Land to some friends, and I completely spaced on Ryan Gosling's name. But also, I love how you said the other white actor, and I knew it was. I hate that I understood that.
It's summer of 2023. The Barbie movie.
I
even
will say I've not followed that at all
even the cover is just a bee. Like it's the Barbie bee.
for the main poster.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Barbie
I know
movie.
my roommate Ryan was saying that we should go watch it, but
Oh,
yeah,
that's not even a question.
that's a film review
Okay.
in the theater type episode.
I don't think it's A24.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
A24 is a household name now.
Yeah, no, they've you look at them the past decade.
They're a household name. I think they're up there. I don't think they're allowed to be considered this indie whatever. I
Like,
mean, obviously the movies they produce are still pretty I guess appeal to the indie audience, but like they're just not. Like they're
Like they do so much more than that.
yeah. And I think everything everywhere all at once was like kind of the benchmark for that statement. Yeah, they really cemented themselves as a pretty legitimate production company. I think they're up there with Warner Brothers. They're up there. Well, I mean, yeah. Anytime you see Warner Brothers, you're like, yeah, it's probably going to be a good movie.
I feel like all the way up there with Warner Brothers is a lot.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
feel like that's stretching it, being like, oh yeah, A24, is on the same thing of like Sony Pictures, things
yeah,
like that.
maybe not that. Maybe
no.
like Bad Robot or like Blue Skies Productions.
Yeah.
I feel like they're
God,
there.
I forgot about Bad Robot.
I'm pretty sure they produced Twilight, and I don't know why I specifically remember that, but I think they did. So
no, I always have to relook that
maybe
stuff up.
we're-
I
maybe-
never know anymore.
yeah, maybe we're on the right track with that. So that's what we're excited about coming out in 2023. What are we thinking? 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks from now? Yeah, the day before spring break. So 2 full weeks. The Oscars.
Oh,
Oscar
yeah.
evening. Oscar evening is happening.
We'll definitely have an episode.
I'm
on
just
it.
excited about it. I'm just freaking excited about the Oscars. Hold
Me
on.
too.
Here's how we're going to segue into the Oscars. So who do you think's getting Best Picture?
So actually, little forelight. We actually had a full episode
Oh, we did.
dedicated to our Oscar predictions, and I totally wish I could go back and look at it because I remember
It was good stuff.
I remember going through and looking at all the movies beforehand, and we did like different rankings for like 10 major categories.
Yeah,
that was the episode that Mike's got my mic at least.
got freaking hacked.
I'm trying to remember
Let me.
what I said for Best Picture.
I mean, for me, I have Fablemans.
I know Fablemans was up there for me. Gosh, what was the other movie I was talking a lot about that day? It's I'm spacing on the name. It's the Netflix.
Oh, All Quiet.
Yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't think it would win Best Picture, but I was talking about overall how I really like that one.
Do you Yeah. Do you know what's crazy? Is I don't
What
think Best Picture. Yeah, I don't think RRR got nominated for Best Picture. I think that's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
Do you know what RRR is?
Nope.
It's the Bollywood film that like was like 3 hours long and it like made so many waves. I mean, it blew people's mind for some reason. So Best Picture, We have Women Talking, Triangle of Sadness, Top Gun Maverick, Tar, The Fabelmans, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Elvis, The Banshees of Inisherin, Avatar, as well as All Quiet on the Western Front.
I remember we talked a lot about Avatar for a lot of different things, especially like for like, you know,
best visuals for sure.
Best visuals, things like that.
Yeah, best visual effects, SFX, all that kind of stuff. They
imagine like it's just Top Gun. Top Gun wins it.
Everything.
Just it's all Top Gun.
Goes on
been Top Gun.
When's the last time a movie did that? I know The Godfather did that, and I know La La Land did that. They won like best makeup. They won best best adapted screenplay. They won best supporting actor. They won best actress. They won like they just they ran through it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Top Gun would not be that movie.
No, I don't think either.
If it was, Tom Cruise would actually stand up and then retire.
He should, even though he has part 1 of the final
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible is coming out this year, and then part 2 is coming out next year.
I thought it was interesting that they made it into 2 parts. Personally.
Yeah, well, and each part is 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
which is wild.
Imagine marathoning through that.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
you know, there used to be movies, and I think The Lord of the Rings did this. My dad was telling me about it when he went to the theaters. Is movies would have intermissions built into them for the theater premieres. Like, so while they were on theater run, like a 3-hour movie back then was a lot. Like that was a lot back then. Now we're just like, yeah, 3-hour movie. Let's get it. Like it's just another Endgame. And he remembers like, yeah, like an hour and a half into it, the movie basically just like had like a fade out, intermission popped up, lights came up, everybody left for like 15 minutes, came back and finished the movie. Like it's a great idea. We should bring that back. I think we should bring back intermissions in the middle of movies.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you think of it like, you know, that's something you see every single time you go see a musical anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I feel like, because then it's like you have to play around that, you know?
Yeah.
Like you want to keep it still engaging. Like you don't, because you're just throwing a huge disconnect into the middle of it.
Oh.
Because I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my phone, go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
Refill my popcorn.
Which is the things that need to happen for the movie theater experience. And you either have to go to the bathroom and miss 10 minutes of content, or you go to the bathroom for 10 minutes and the movie pauses for everybody. And you only have to hold it for an hour and a half instead of having to hold it for 3 hours.
That sounds like a skill issue.
It is a skill issue.
That was the wrong one.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, no, it's still going. We'll say it again.
Sounds like a skill issue. Nice.
So who do you think is going to get best cinematography? This one's always a big one for me.
Let me look back at the list.
So yeah, for the audience, we have All Quiet on the Western Front. We have Bardo, False Chronicles of a Handful of Truths. We have Elvis. We have Empire of Light, as well as Tar. A ton of people think it's going to be Bardo.
I heard a lot about that.
The Spanish film. I don't think it will be. I would like to say it's going to be Empire of Light. Roger Deakins. He's just that guy still.
He's him.
He is him. Yeah, I just don't see it being Bardo, but I definitely don't see it being like Elvis or anything. I mean, all these are stunning movies. This is a really good year. These are stunning movies. But I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. But yeah, we would like to know other people's thoughts. What do other people think about the Oscar noms this year, as well as the Oscars themselves? And if you have any thoughts, you can leave it on our YouTube, our TikTok, our Instagram, our personal phone numbers. 614 no.
All in the show notes below.
All in the show notes below. If you have any thoughts about it, please let us know. On Spotify, I can even add a quiz, a Quizlet, a Q&A area that I will literally just say, thoughts on Oscar noms. Let us know. We can respond even on Spotify if you have any thoughts on our topics.
Is that a new feature?
It is a new
I was gonna
feature.
say, I'm not familiar with that.
As well as we're allowed to also be releasing this video on Spotify if we really wanted to. And so if that's something that people are interested in, we might even try it with this episode of releasing video on Spotify. You don't have to watch it, but it's an option. I don't know.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited though for the Oscar episode where we go through who actually does win.
Yeah, well, I think the Oscar episode needs to be recorded live. I think that's number one. I think that we need to have a live episode. Where we host this, I don't know. Where would we host this live episode?
Featuring Ashton's apartment, because we are not doing it at my house.
Featuring Ashton's apartment. Yeah. I don't know where we would have this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, more specifically, I don't know where we would host it as in live stream wise.
Honestly, we could do it here.
We could. Oh, we could.
We got a TV and a monitor here.
Well, I'm thinking, though, we make it like a whole event, though. You know? Make it something that's...
Shot it for the first time in front of a live studio audience.
Live studio audience. More specifically, just like
digest.
Our friends that come over and like get their thoughts, have them sit down. On commercial breaks, we, chat it up about random stuff. And it's like, we just release like a 3-hour episode.
Yeah. That
on like Spotify. Or we could break it up into 2 parts and release a part 1, part 2 of our Oscar releases. Mm-hmm. But also, if you wanted to, you could join us live.
Yeah.
I don't know where we would host it, though.
We'll figure that out. Let us know if this is something you want.
Yeah.
Or if you have any ideas of how you would like us to live stream the Oscars.
Yeah, if you're into it.
We're actually going to pirate it.
Pirate the lot. Yeah, so that we can't do, which sucks because we can't show like what the screen is seeing. We can only ever show our reaction. So we have to just like make sure they're watching the Oscars at the same time.
Well,
unless we reach out to the Oscars and say, can we be an official watch party? They won't let that happen. That's for sure.
Nah. Ashton knows some people.
This is how we would. So this is so.
Hello, Oscars.
Please.
Yeah,
there we go. Sorry.
I didn't realize you cut it back.
I'm sorry. So I'd be like, "Hey, Oscars, can we live stream? Can we live stream the Oscars?" And then you would say,
Please.
Pretty pleased.
"You need to be. You're the Oscars. You're
okay.
the Academy. So can we live stream?" And you'd say,
Oh yeah, Creative Digest. We love your show. Totally.
"I'd
Say thanks.
say thanks so much."
Man, those are hard to
We're
control.
having way too much fun with this.
That is hilarious. I think.
Well, it's like you press it, and I'm anticipating when I hear it back to myself, like, oh, this is going to sound obnoxious as hell.
and then it's hilarious.
And then I'm like, oh god, it's worse.
I think it's so funny. And then there's like stupid ones on here.
And then I was preparing for you to press it, and I still hear my actual voice, and I'm like, actually caught me off guard.
Oh yeah, that was my bad. I totally
botched it.
There's this too. Bear with us here. Wonder what this does. Ah, there's music.
Look at that.
We can mix it in. Oh,
Hey guys, welcome back to the Creative Digest, where
this is awesome. Yeah, the Roadcaster's sick. So, who do you think is going to get best costume design?
actually I need to look at the list for that. I don't think that was one we went over last time.
I don't think it is either, but I think it's an important. So we have Babylon. That was a great one. Mm-hmm. Black Panther, who I think will get it, or Elvis.
Yeah.
And then we also have Everything Everywhere All at Once. And then Miss Harris Goes to Paris. Never seen that one.
Nope.
But I'm just going to go ahead and knock that one out of the park because I don't know it. But yeah, I think it's going to be Black Panther or Elvis, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I think I would like to see it be Elvis. I just really like the costume design for that a lot.
Right.
I felt like it was one of those things where it's like, it's very, like, first of all, just besides it being a very well put together film in general, then the costume design, it really just like, threw you into the movie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's why I think that or Babylon honestly could get it and not Black Panther. Merely for the sake of Black Panther, yeah, the costumes were sick.
Oh, yeah.
And like everything about it was awesome. Like that was just it. It was just like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis does a great job at making you feel like the costumes are real and like from that time period. And like, even though Elvis still feels larger than life, it's like, yeah, he's a real person and what he's wearing are real clothes and all this kind of stuff. So,
and something that you would expect from, that time frame.
Right. And so I'm going to run with you on that one. I think that's the move. Up next, we have Best Director.
Woo!
Who do you think it is?
Oh, I need to look. I already know what it is.
You're good. Banshees, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans.
That's what I was going to go with, is The Fablemans
Triangle
with
Sadness.
our boy Stephen Spielberg. I just had to make sure that was actually on the list, so I just wasn't imagining it.
Hundo P. If it's not our boy Spielberg, I'm going to be rather devastated. He did win the Golden Globe for it.
Yep.
And that was a dub. That was a dub for all creators and all people. And so I don't think people fully understand why I just like love Steven Spielberg.
Tell us.
I love Steven Spielberg because him, even Christopher Nolan, but more specifically Steven Spielberg, is he like just literally did not make excuses growing up. He just made, and The Fabelmans does a great job at showing that, as well as he's just such a creative guy, and like he has Jaws that like went through the roof. He has Indiana Jones that was super popular. He has whatever movie that you can think of that Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park, right? Like he revolutionized filmmaking in the 80s. And films. And he did all of that, but then he also did movies like BFG, or he did recently The Fabelmans, or I'm really blanking on his discography, but he did all of these movies, but no matter what, it just doesn't matter. Every single movie he makes, it just feels like he cares fully and 100% about
he's fully devoted to it. He's like, he wants to bring out his image of what he wants this film to become.
Right. And he works with the same cinematographer and the same guy that he's been working with for years. And it's just like, he's all about he made relationships, and he loves making movies, and it just so happens that he makes a lot of money while doing it. And that's what I love about Spielberg. That's what I love.
That's my goal.
That he's like 80 something, 70 something.
So, yeah,
and then dude's still out here making bangers. It's amazing.
Absolute iconic films.
That's what I love about the creative industry, I think, as a whole, is that literally you can be as young as you want or as old as you want. Well, I guess you don't choose your age, but you can be as young as you are or as old as you are and still produce like art. You can still create, and it might change forms, right? Like Harrison Ford, well, I say this subjectively. Harrison Ford isn't, running away from boulders anymore, even though Indiana Jones 5 is coming out this year.
I was literally just looking that up right now as you were saying it, because you brought up Indiana Jones, and I was like, crap, what's the new one called? It's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, for anybody wondering.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I was like, I wanted to cross-reference the...
Who is directing that? Is that Spielberg, yeah?
No, it's not, because that's what I was like... when you brought up Indiana Jones, I was like, last time I checked, Spielberg wasn't like directing on it.
Yikes!
It's James Mangold.
Okay, that's not as bad. He's really good.
Fedin Pop Michael
is the cinematographer.
Papa Michael. I definitely butchering that.
I know nothing about him. I might have seen his work, but I don't know him. Yeah. I'm not super familiar. No, I'm really excited for this movie. The trailer I don't think is giving away a ton, which I like, because that means there's content enough to make, like, they're so confident that the movie itself is going to be interesting. Because a lot of times you'll see like trailers and it's like, wow, that looks really good, and then you're like, oh wow, all the interesting parts were in the trailer and everything else sucks.
Like you just see all the action, and it's like, well, this was what I expected. I came into here knowing this. I didn't get surprised. I didn't get a thrill.
Yeah, and I think Indiana Jones in the trailer that they've released so far, and I think it comes out in April. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it comes out relatively soon. I'm so excited. I felt like I was a kid again. Yeah, I felt like I was seeing the Crystal Skull trailer again for the first time. For the relevancy of my age, that was the only one I remember. But yeah, I grew up on Indiana Jones.
Same here.
I grew up on Spielberg. But I also can't take away from me the fact that I grew up on Nolan. I grew up on Anderson. I grew up on Wes Anderson. I grew up on like all these young directors that I also grew up on.
No, I definitely remember watching Wes Anderson movies, the earlier Indiana Jones, like Tarantino films at a way too young of an age, probably.
Dude, but he's great, and he's still around today. Like, so many people are like, you need to watch Hitchcock films, and you need to watch this, that, and the other. And I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah.
Like, Hitchcock films just aren't my vibe. Like, I liked Psycho, but that's like it.
No.
Give me Interstellar. Give me Batman. Give me Inception. That's what I want. Yeah. Those are all Nolan films, by the way.
I actually just watched Interception the other day again.
Interception?
No.
Inception.
Sorry.
Interstellar right now is my number one movie, and I have very high hopes that Oppenheimer is going to take that place, which would just be another Nolan film. But Interstellar is my number one movie. Soundtrack, visuals,
I love the soundtrack,
acting, story, everything about it is great.
It's so good. No, it's definitely like my top two. I don't know. I feel like my number one, it's like it's one of those things where it's like it can always change.
Right, like what you're into the most. No, as of right now, I'd say it's Interstellar. Interstellar is that movie that if somebody's like, you got any movie recs? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Like, let me change your life.
I feel like if people ask me movie recommendations and I tell them about Interstellar and they've never seen it, I'm more going to judge them of like, how have you not seen this?
How have you not seen
it's been
art?
What, came out like 20?
20, like 14 or 15.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Like, has it been that long?
It's an old movie.
Because I remember seeing that in theaters.
Yeah. And that was mind-blowing. Shot on IMAX, just like every Christopher Nolan film. Obviously, Dunkirk was also Nolan, and I thought that was revolutionary, how it played with the concept of time. He's big on that.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan played... And I'm sure somebody's done a review on this, but it's just now hitting me. That Christopher Nolan plays with the concept of time a lot.
Yeah.
And speaking of time, it's our time to wrap up.
It is time to wrap up. Aidan has class in a little bit.
In 10 minutos. 10 minutes. Yeah, this was good. This is just a good catch-up episode. Way to get the vibes back between you and I.
Yeah.
I know things have just been crazy busy, but...
we have fun things planned next week. Our guest that we were supposed to have today actually just had a kid.
Had a child, yes.
And so, unfortunately, he could not show up because he had other things he had to deal with.
Right? Like a child. But it's okay, because that gives us content for next week as well. Photographer, business owner, entrepreneur, first-generation immigrant as well. We're very excited to have Timothy on, so make sure that you follow all of the platforms.
Yes.
You don't miss an episode. You're going to want to be on it.
Any place you can find a podcast, we're there. Check out the Instagram. Check out all of our personal accounts. Everything in the show notes.
And
nice.
And I think that's it, man.
And I think that's it.
I think that's the cue. Have a great day.
Woo!